one thing I think that made your primary campaign interesting is how specific some of your proposals were. And some of that may have to do with your expertise from your time working in the finance sector. But whether you agree with all your positions or not, you've definitely given a lot of thought to them. So when you get to Washington, and notice I'm using a positive visualization there. I'm not saying if, I'm saying when. When you get to Washington, what are the first things that Scott Sipprelle is going to try to tackle?
Well, thank you for noticing our issues page. I mean, one of the things I have been struck with in watching politics from the sidelines is how many candidates, issue their position statement. It's a couple dozen words. I've put, thousands of words behind each of the key issues that I've identified, from jobs to the tax code to government spending and the debt to the need to reform Congress to increase integrity and responsibility. I've written on health care. I've written on reforming Wall Street, national security, and they can all be found on my website. If I could put a small commercial here, supportscott2010.com. Perhaps my challenge is to focus down my many ideas into the ones that are actionable and most critical. And certainly when I get to Washington as one of 435, I'm going to have a need to focus and to generate results in a short period of time. I think I will be successful in doing that, because my plan is to create a coalition of congressmen, and many of them will probably be freshmen. And if we can create a significant enough voting bloc and not compromise on issues like spending, debt, fiscal responsibility, and taxes, I think we will be on our way as a nation to repairing the broken financial fabric of the country that's causing so much economic hardship and preventing so many families from getting decent jobs or even jobs at all.
Now, my final few questions are not as weighty, but some people that I interview for the blog have just as much trouble answering them.
So this is the hard part now?
It's a person-to-person thing.
Okay.
I can't predict. We won't know until we find out here. What's your favorite book, Scott?
I'd say The Great Gatsby is one of my favorites. I've probably read it 4 or 5 times, partly because of my own experience as somebody who sort of navigated as an outsider through this strange place called Wall Street. I certainly like some of the old American classic writers like Twain. So I would put Twain on the list. A Separate Peace, which is a book we probably all read going through our adolescent years, would probably be another book I would put on that list.
Yeah, I was always a big fan of that pink suit that Jay Gatsby wore when Robert Redford played him in the movies. I almost tried to get something like that for my prom, but my date wasn't having any of it. So maybe the next time around. What's your favorite band, singer, artist? Whichever.
Oh boy, I'm going to probably embarrass my kids now, right? I'm very eclectic. So, I like Leanne Rimes. I like the Stones and Dire Straits. I like Pavarotti and Sinatra. So if you went onto my iPod, you would probably see the strangest collection of things. I even have a lot of Neil Diamond on there, who was actually one of my favorites.
There's nothing wrong with Neil Diamond. Cherry Cherry, great song.
He's got so many classic songs.
Yeah, exactly. And you know what? I mean, for what it's worth, even though I'm a Boss fan, you didn't say Springsteen, which as far as I'm concerned is a good thing, because it's getting a little cliche.
The other day I borrowed one of my kids' iPods to go running, and I heard some songs by a group named Vampire Weekend. And I actually enjoyed them, so I got a few of those on my iPod as well.
I'll have to research that. I don't even know what kind of music that is.
Check it out.
Yeah. What about favorite sports team?
I've always been a lifelong baseball fan. I have 2 teenage boys who are diehard baseball fans, and so I've kind of adopted their teams because of their passion. So I have a Seattle Mariners fan. That's my American League team, and my younger boy is a diehard Phillies fan. So we catch a good handful of ball games every summer, and we're about 2/3 of the way through our tour of all of the national ballparks, which is something I like doing with my boys.
Oh, wow, that's great. That's really fantastic. That's something I've always wanted to do. That's on the list. And finally, who is a personal hero of yours that I always put two caveats on it, that A, isn't a family member, and B, isn't Ronald Reagan?
I'm going to say, here's one that, I'm going to try to stay away from the standard Lincoln, Teddy Roosevelt, Ronald Reagan answers, because that was kind of your prompting. Grover Cleveland, actually a Democratic president who retired to my hometown now of Princeton, New Jersey, is a great undiscovered American hero. Great Horatio Alger story. Kid from a poor family in New Jersey went west, decided to stop in Buffalo to get ready to attack the frontier, and actually stayed in Buffalo. He got a law degree on his own, became sheriff, mayor of Buffalo, governor of New York, and president of the United States in an incredibly compact period of time, and was a great patriot and a great reformer, and fought the Tammany machine, which dominated the Democratic Party in that era, and was a hard money Democrat, which was also very much against the main thrust of the Democratic Party, which wanted free money, i.e. inflation, and a man of principle, and frankly a very good leader, the only president to get elected twice to non-consecutive terms. Interesting story. So I collect a lot of his memorabilia, which is fairly easy to do since I don't have a lot of competition bidding on eBay against me.
Not a big underground Grover Cleveland memorabilia market, huh?
No. But if I see any bids at a premium this afternoon on eBay, I may sell some of my stuff out.
No kidding. Grover Cleveland. Yeah, that's definitely a good pick, but not an orthodox one. Scott, this has been really a lot of fun for me. I appreciate you reaching out to us and spending a little bit of time to talk about yourself and your candidacy.
Happy to do it, and thanks for your hard work on watching all of these races and keeping the public informed. As you know better than I, the mainstream media is increasingly losing its resources and ability to focus on the non-high-profile races, which is, I guess, what we are now. And so, thanks for your interest.
No. I mean, yeah, I definitely appreciate it. That's what we set out to do. And going forward here, make sure you keep in touch with us, because I know that there's thousands of saved Jerseyans out there who will be pulling for you. So, thanks again, Scott.
Thanks for calling, and be well.